Fabulous ones. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines that I've selected from a news feed. And we might kick it about the headlines, about the subject matter at large. Hey, welcome on the chat about the article if we've read it or skimmed it or are familiar with it. But it's not news, it's just our notes on the news. Like, share. Hey, Yapo, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all those other good things. Thank you for all of the support. We crossed 500, but we're going to have a party at some point soon. Maybe a giveaway. I haven't decided. I don't know what to do. But that's what we got. So let's check in. Habaragani. Habaragani. Hey, Marlowe's Coroner. How's your day? It's good. You saw me run through your chat last night. In Guzo Saba. Miss Bella. Hey, Rowdy Chica. She's stepping on me and she thinks I'm just her stand. She can just stand all over me. Okay, let's see. What was it yesterday? Oh, it was Kaumba yesterday. What comes after Kaumba? Imani, faith. All right, to believe with all our hearts in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Hey, Waffle and Chewy Nanas. Nanas, to believe in our hearts and our ancestors, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our children, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Yup. You believe? Do you believe? Do you believe in your heart? Faith, Imani. All right. So that's that. Let's see what the Buddha is talking about today. What's new and good? Had to refresh my window, took a moment. Anything new, exciting, and good going on in your life, in your family's life, in your neighborhood, your community's life, in the world? How are you at Marlowe's Corner? All right, so this is Yo. What up, though, Buddha? Yo, get the Buddha's attention. What up, though, Buddha? Who gives, one's virtues shall increase. I think you changed it from the other day, Yapo, now. Who is self-curbed, no hatred bears. Who is so in virtue, evil shun. The rooting out of lust and hate and all delusion comes to be at peace. Just dealing with this persistent cold. Yo. All right. So the language is a little challenging with this one, but I think I understand. They're saying if you give, your virtues shall increase. So give. Your virtues are going to increase. That's what the Buddha said. He said, who is self-curbed? That means you control yourself. That's what I think it means. I don't know. Who is self-curbed? No hatred bears. You don't have to worry about no hatred bearing you if you control yourself. I don't know if he know about black folks in America, so we gonna put that one on pause. Who is so skilled? Who so is skilled in virtue? I think you're right. If you're skilled in virtue, then evil shuns you. Like if you're a virtuous person, the evil people don't want to be around you. I'm having a challenge today, Buddha. I live in America. And by the rooting out of lust and hate and all delusion comes to be at peace. All right, well, I don't know. I do believe that giving is good and controlling yourself is good and being skilled in virtue is good. Hey, Silano. I don't know how to pronounce your name. It stresses me out. I've heard somebody pronounce it Sinanlo. Sinanlo. Sinanlo? Sinanlo. Sigh. And I believe letting go of delusion is good. So anyway, Cyan Low. Oh, Cyan Low. Buddha has obviously never been to the Waffle House. What up, though, Buddha? Yo, you been to the Waffle House? All right, let's see what's on the news feed. I went to the riverfront today for the first time. Look, I'm a river walker. Now, these shirts are supposed to be for the old people. Usually I can't get them, but for some reason this year they gave it to me. So I don't know if hey, Ron, I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'm here for them to register. And she's like, you don't want a t-shirt? I'm like, don't you have to be a certain age? She's like, yeah, senior. I'm like, she's like, what size you want? I wanted the free t-shirt. Because it seemed like now in my life, I need more random t-shirts than I used to. So I don't know. I didn't really know how to take it. So I just took the t-shirt. Hey, True Royal Family. How is the Royal Family? Dang, something you think I need to write down. All right. So let's jump into the news feed. Habaragani. Before we jump in, Habaragani. Faith. To believe with all your heart and your children, your parents, your family, your community, your ancestors, in the righteousness and virtue of your struggle. I thought if I rolled the window up, she'd move. Oh, she did move. Okay. So when I say Habaragani, you say Imani. I-M-A-N-I. Imani, faith. Parkland teenager David Hogg swatted in prank call. So again, swatting is when they think it's funny to like call the police or call the FBI and be like, there's a dangerous terrorist at this address, and then they give your address, and then the FBI or the police show up and they, think, they treat you like a dangerous terrorist or whatever. And so people have been killed in swatting pranks. So I don't know, this child from the high school, and I think Parkland was in Florida, that school where the children had already been being organized before they were shot up, and they started organizing after they were shot up to another degree. So this is one of them little boys. Jordan King's Abdullah calls for tax review after largest protest in years. Hey, what's up, COG? So, Bella, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So I was confused at first because I'm like, didn't he resign? But it was the prime minister who resigned. There have been a few nights of tax protesting, and because the people are like, these austerity measures, we're not here for them. We can't live on them. We can't survive. We not happy. We getting in these streets and we protesting. So the prime minister was like, forget this from the headlines, and he's like, I resign. I'm assuming it's a he. And so now the king is calling for a tax review. Alabama governor wants to arm school principals. NAACP calls it the absolute worst idea. So the governor of Alabama wants the principals to have guns. Terrence Howard's ex-wife, y'all remember him? Oh, he plays on Empire now, if anybody watches Empire. His ex-wife, okay, Bella, okay. His ex-wife wants nearly $1 million for back spousal support after winning appeal. So I guess they've been going back and forth, and I guess she won the appeal. So now she wants $1 million. I guess that's what she's saying he owe her. He ain't been paying her. They've been fighting. So he seems like, I don't know how I feel about him. He was on the original Iron Man movie. Maybe I didn't see the original. Wasn't he on Hustle and Flow? Didn't he play a pimp? It's, it's hard out here for when you're trying to get your money for the rent. Remember that? Okay, yeah, I remember that. And he was in something else, it seemed like. But anyway, Cookie, the woman who plays Cookie, she fought for him to be in this TV show with him. When they wanted to cast her, she said she would only do it if he did it. So that was kind of interesting. Hustle and Flow. I was eating Tabbouleh. He did a lot of work. Oh, so I just know him from a couple of things. He went to Howard. He's a HBCU graduate. I think his wife is like, or I don't know if his current wife or his ex-wife, but I think he's with somebody who's like white or Asian, or I can't remember. But it was something in his, it was something that gave me a weird feeling about him. So I don't know. It might have been an interview I saw him in, and I was kind of like, oh. California man found guilty in 1997. In 1997, rape, murder of 7-year-old black girl asked for parole. So I don't know if this is if this is a white guy who raped the girl. It sounds like she was raped in a casino, raped and murdered in a casino. So I don't know. I guess I think of a casino as a very adult place. So I'm kind of curious as to why a 7-year-old was there. But then I think of casinos can also be like these resort environments. So I'm not really clear about that. But 97, 2000, so he been in jail, I guess, for 20-ish years. So now he feel like he wants parole. The child's name who made the transition is Sharice Iverson. So prayers out to her and her family and community. He was 18. He was 18 years old. Why is he still alive? I know, a 7-year-old girl. He was 18 years old. Choking her to death inside a bathroom stall at the Las Vegas Prima Donna Casino. So I don't know if he took the child there. The innocence of the victim, the brutality of the murder, and the cavalier attitude of the killer. I still remember taking the confession with him, and he described in brutal detail how he molested little Sharice. He needs to be under the jail. He's 39. He pled guilty in order to avoid the death penalty. So you ask why he was still alive. So his name sounds like, I don't know if he's white. I don't know what he is, but I mean, I know he's crazy out here. Because yeah, at 18, hey, August Streams, at 18, you know better. I mean, you know, yeah, raping and kill. I mean, you don't have to be, you know, I mean, you know, everybody know better than to rape and kill somebody. Oh, so prayers out. Target fires security guard who had black woman strip searched after accusing her of stealing a bikini. I was at Target today. I didn't find what I was looking for, and I'm glad. I can't remember the last time that I've been to a to a Target. He's a Caucasoid man. Those scumbags always want to live after they do some mess like that. Yep. And they're always sad and want to cry or whatever. So I'm not sure what the you know, I guess the head, I've never been to a Target before. You're not really missing anything. I want like a light, like I need some dresses, like some like lightweight denim dresses. And I was like, oh, I could probably find something short sleeve. I mean, I don't really know where to go. I went to Target. I was out by a mall. I went to Target. I went to 2 or 3 different places. I couldn't find what I wanted. Old Navy. I don't know when the last time is I've been to an Old Navy. Okay. So the woman, I don't know. I guess she was at the place, and you know, I don't know if he really yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I don't know the sister's name who was strip search. Strip searching is very invasive and some bullshit. Um, you know, I know people are always like, oh, I hope she sues them and stuff. But you know, it's kind of like when you go through certain types of experiences. Wow, a security guard in Michigan who humiliated and falsely accused a black woman of stealing has been abruptly fired from Target. The sister's name was Ashane Davis. Handcuffed and dragged her through the retail store. They took her to a room. The men you know, loudly proclaimed that she was stealing, then took her to a room where they strip searched her. 2 male guards and a female manager present. She felt humiliated and forced by the Target staffers. We should add a hashtag targeted at Target hashtag to the slew of living while black hashtags we've accumulated. Yeah. shoot, some of them women can be, I feel like, I mean, it's like it ain't no, I feel like it ain't really no, I don't think it's really no dignified way to be strip searched. There's a lot of, that's why a lot of these brick and mortar stores are failing. Don't nobody want to be bothered with that. That doesn't seem necessary. I don't think it was necessary. I think it's harassment. Why subject someone to that humiliation and they don't even know if she's guilty? Ethiopia accepts peace deal to end Eritrea border war. So when we in our study or our casual, I'm gonna use study very loosely, but our exploration of Al-Kibalan, we've talked about both Ethiopia and Eritrea. So, we kind of knew there was some conflict going on historically and ongoing. So Ethiopia, it says in this headline, has accepted a peace deal to end the border war. White woman, yep, that's what I think. That's what I think that they want. That I think that. Oh, I'm sorry, Bella. It's a mosquito, girl. Dang, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to beat the dog. It's a mosquito in here. I think, yeah, I don't, yeah. Over a bikini. White woman calls police on black pool goers for making fun of me. They're making fun of me. Let me call the police. Lil Scrappy hospitalized after deadly car crash in Miami. Hashtag Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't really know. I think there were two Scrappy characters on there, and I think they're both supposed to be rappers. I'm not really sure. So I don't know which one is Lil Scrappy, but if you follow or know anything, just so you know, Straight from the A is reporting that he was in a deadly car crash. So I guess someone made their transition in a crash, and Lil Scrappy is in the hospital. And is Lil Scrappy the one that's married to Bambi, or is Lil Scrappy the one whose mama was on the show? So I guess just prayers out to all of them. I'm not really, quite sure who's who. Oh, I'm so very overly sensitive. Someone is making fun of me. Call the police and make them stop. Florida man was so envious of his black neighbor's flashy car, he lit it on fire. Oprah Winfrey picks prison memoir for her book club. I don't know what the memoir is. I don't know if anybody reads or is familiar with That's Unreal. Set the car on fire. Becky has to be the center of attention. Hey, Sonia sees. Has to be the center of attention. Anthony Ray Hinton, wrongly imprisoned for nearly 30 years. You watched the Oprah interview? I guess so. So you already know this story. His memoir is called The Sun. Something about the sun does shine, how I found life and freedom on death row. I guess if you're on death row, or I don't know if everybody does, I want that guy to be angry. Yeah. It seems like every time I see these people, they're like, I don't know. And then the other day I had the theory, because we saw one person who was supposed to be getting out of out of prison or whatever, but they were like, they weren't getting let out. And I'm like, oh, maybe the people who aren't like, oh, I'm at peace, I love white people, I'm glad they locked me up and made my life better. Shoot, if I had been 30 years on the street, it'd have been terrible. Being in jail was the best thing that ever happened to me. I guess if you're not spouting that party line, they're not gonna let you out. Because it seemed like, have we met anybody who's been locked up long term who gets out who's like, I'm pissed off? I haven't. That's who I'm looking for. I mean, not that I want somebody to be mad, but it just seemed like it pissed me off, and I wasn't in jail for no time. You know what I mean? He was once confined by a 5 by 7 foot cell to a 5 by 7 foot cell. Okay. So he thought a white woman was speaking to him from the GPS in the car. Oh, you talking about the person who burned the car? And the white people were talking about how healing it is, that he was so forgiving. I'm glad I didn't have a brick near me. I would no longer have a television. Yeah. Yeah. My Heritage now, yesterday, I think, yes, starting yesterday, I started seeing commercials on the TV about Ancestry DNA. They're running a sale. The cheapest I've ever seen their kits go down to is 79 cents. I mean $79, but I saw 69 on the TV yesterday. And then I saw this My Heritage TV advertising today for $69. I'm like, I never even heard of My Heritage TV. And I guess, like, I knew that I've seen advertisements around Christmas, so I guess they're advertising around Father's Day. Father's Day must be coming up soon. Did we miss Mother's Day? African Ancestry is the best, black owned. I haven't used any of them yet. I'm kind of nervous to give I haven't really figured out how I feel about the whole thing. One of my cousins had bought a whole bunch of Ancestry DNA kits and gave one to my mother, or he was like, we could choose. So my mother did it. That's a cousin my crazy tribe. So I never heard of this My Heritage except for today on the TV, and now I see them on the news feed. My Heritage admits I got a DNA kit months ago. Did you send it off and get the results? And when my mother was on the African continent the first time, everybody kept telling her she looked like she was from the Sudan. So all my life, I've always been like, we're from the Sudan. My people are from the Sudan. So whenever I see anything Sudanese, no, 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 never, damn it. Right. That's how I feel. And I've always just been like associated with Sudanese. I like the Sudanese people because it seems like some of the blackest people are Sudanese. I'm like, okay, the Sudan. When she got her results, she ain't had no Sudanese in there. And I know sometimes, like, if siblings get tested, different people will have different things. Like, one person's result is not supposed to. But I was kind of like a little, I don't know if demoralized, but it just kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Hey, Mother Nature. So no, you're not taking the test. I don't want to see any white blood in me. We were our majority West African. Yeah. Well, I know this one woman who was maybe East African. I'm trying to remember now where she was from, because she ended up meeting somebody on the African continent who's like, you look like somebody, and she like found her family just kind of randomly, or found people randomly, and the DNA test confirmed it. But anyway, My Heritage admits that 92 million user email addresses were leaked. That kind of I was kind of like, well, maybe for $70, $60, whatever it is, maybe. And then I'm like, and they do all of that stuff electronically, Whoa, 92 million. That's a lot. Yeah. A man fought off a bear with his bare hands to save his pet, proving not all heroes wear capes. So I told y'all the other day that a dog jumped on my dog. Now, she didn't get bit, but it was a bigger dog than her. And I was yelling at the dog, and I was thinking, should I try to punch it in the nose? But then I was afraid I was going to get hurt. I decided I wasn't going to fight the dog for Bella, even though Bella's cool with me. I felt like I would feel really dumb if I definitely don't think that I would be fighting a bear over a dog with my bare hands, or over a pet. But somebody did. So hey, I mean, you know. A Canadian woman claims she was inundated with poop that fell from an airplane. And I was like, oh my gosh, she was walking down the street. Then when I looked at the article, it was like she was driving. And then it went on to say that when she went to her doctor, she had pink eye. So I'm like, was she driving in a convertible? But that's Yo Quito Taco Bell, dog. I see. That's why her name is Bella. Yo quiero Taco Bell. But she's a girl, so she's Bella. But the boo boo, they think the boo boo, when they're flying, they release the stuff onto the earth, and it got on her and in her eyes, and she had pink eye as a result of that. And that's really, really disgusting and just terrible and awful and upsetting. When I first saw that, I was thinking of that movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy. Has anybody seen that? That reminded me of that. I don't know why. Yeah, like stuff just falling out of planes randomly. And it also reminded me, years ago, I saw this movie called Brother from Another Planet. That's a nasty infection. That's just nasty. Even if you didn't get an infection, if a bunch of boo-boo fell on you, how do you ever, like, how do you recover from that? Like, it just seems like I would be ruined for life. Like, I just like curl up in a corner. A stray cat. I was in rare form that day. Uh-oh, you was beating that cat's behind. Well, one thing that I was impressed with, right, about, you know, when that dog, I was like, stop! No! I was yelling and yelling and yelling, but when I got back, my voice wasn't sore at all. So I must have been yelling from my diaphragm. Everybody in the neighborhood heard me yelling though. But that's the only weapon I used, my voice. I didn't see a stick or nothing. Yeah. So that's kind of disgusting. The poop falling from the former NBA star Dennis Rodman will reportedly be in Singapore during the Trump-Kim summit and may play a role in the negotiations. Now that whole Kim dealing with Dennis Rodman makes you feel like he's probably like a doy, like a dum-dum, like meh, like Trump. Like who deals with Dennis Rodman? And he's had like a long-standing interaction with that guy. LeBron James' core basketball principles were instilled in him after receiving He's Been Dumb Forever. Yeah. I remember when he played for the Pistons when they were three-peating during that time, and I was paying attention to his actually swaying the guy too. Thinks he's actually swaying the guy. And he would always be crying. And I mean, I don't have anything against somebody crying, I guess, but it just seems so like out of context and weird. Like I don't have anything against anybody hugging somebody, but when you saw that little boy who was like hugging the police officer, it seemed out of context and weird. And following people out, that part I didn't notice. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, share, and hit the notification bell on this video. Yeah, so if you come in late, you can loop back around and watch what you missed. If you didn't know that I was going live, I don't think I made an announcement today because I'm in my neighbor's parking lot, and my other neighbor is going to be parking here because they're getting their driveway redone. So I don't know when I'm going to have to move when they're coming home. So I just want to start. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Yes, you can see the pain on that boy's face. Right. And yeah, and like LeBron, not LeBron, but Dennis Rodman, it just always seemed like, I don't know, to me, like it just something, like there's a time and a place to cry, even if you're a man, but it seemed like something was a little, so LeBron James, remember if I thought you was a girl, I am a girl. I'm 14. LeBron James' core basketball principles were instilled in him after receiving a participation trophy when he was 9. So I heard somebody talking the other day about, we grew up in the generation where we didn't get no participation trophies. We had to, if you didn't win, you didn't get nothing. And that made us, strong. That made us tough or whatever. So I don't know, I think I've gotten participation certificates, but whatever. So I just thought it was interesting because, I'm obsessed today and for the last 2 weeks with LeBron James, that he said that he received a participation trophy when he was 9, that, he felt like the whole team, when the whole team is one, it's like a group. We win together, we lose together, we all together. And that set his tone for his playing. Now, I don't really watch basketball, so I thought that he was, I thought that LeBron James was like, I didn't know he was a team player because I always felt like it seemed like LeBron, like all the articles I saw, the headlines, it was like he won the whole game and nobody else really did anything. So I never thought of him as a team player. So I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was an interesting headline. If that maybe one day I'm not going to watch. I mean, I watch a minute or two here or there, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch LeBron James play. And probably, I don't know. I'm sure I'll be over him soon. Evacuations after new eruption at Guatemalan volcano. Do I look like a boy today? That's true. His teammates are trash. Trash. He pretty much carries his team, but it's a group effort. See, I thought they were trying to say he had a bad attitude. Like he was like, I didn't. So I like him even more. He has a team spirit. Yay! What's this? To believe with all our heart in the righteousness and victory of our struggle as a team, as a family, as a community, from the ancestors to the babies who ain't born. He in the Imani spirit. So he's a good guy. So new eruptions at the Guatemala volcano. So it just seems like it's hard for them to get a break. I guess the whole Ring of Fire thing is just very active. Hurricane season is going to be active. If anybody has read Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents, he's a crybaby. Who, LeBron? Not my Bronny. Not LBJ. I don't know. Is he? You talking about LeBron? I thought you talking about the guy who is going to Korea. He a crybaby. I don't know if he is or not still. Dennis Rodman. So just prayers out to Guatemala and to all of us. Oh, I was saying Octavia Butler's. Oh, I have Octavia E. Butler. Oh, but it kind of reminds me in the parables, like the start of things, it was like disaster after disaster after disaster after disaster, and fewer and few resources to help people to recover from disasters. And it seems like, it feels like crybabies can be good guys. People all over the world live to catch these. We have power to use our numbers of leverage if we can wake up the code. Yeah. Black people are something. Black people are something. Like, I think even if you think of somebody like Bob Marley, who, I guess he's biracial, his father was white, but, even if you think of like a small island, a small place like Jamaica, and the impact that Bob Marley and his music has had on the world, and I think if you think of African-American culture and African, like, I feel like Beyonce, like Michael Jordan, like there are certain things that like go all over the world that come from like, Black folks. Rowdy Chica, you can have Van Jones. Natalie. Jimi Hendrix, Natalie. Who is Natalie? Nat King Cole's daughter? No, what was Nat King Cole's daughter's name? Natalie who? It's like right on the tip of my consciousness, but I can't pull it up. Oh, Nat King Cole's daughter was Natalie? Sometimes I just shake my head. Beyonce bought a church. I ask why. Natalie Cole. Oh yeah, Natalie Cole. She's young, true royal. Natalie Cole. Yeah, Natalie Cole. Yeah. This will be. Yeah. I don't know why she bought a church. I saw the headline, but I haven't really paid much attention to it. But is she buying the church to make like a community, or is she buying the church as an edifice? Like I don't know. Good evening, sis, and the rest of the chat. Hey, the underrated darkness. A 240 million year old fossil is now the oldest known ancestor of snakes and lizards, and experts are calling it a Rosetta Stone of evolution. The oldest known ancestor of snakes and lizards. Exactly what I was thinking, bruh. I was thinking, you mean white people? But okay. Wealthiest African American businessman investing in another ad tech company. So yesterday we were talking about an investment company, but I think this is a whole nother situation. I don't really know who this person is. I guess I don't follow this kind of stuff enough. And maybe now that Moguldom is on my news feed, I'm getting a different type of story. Visa Equity Partners, a private equity firm. I don't really know what a private equity firm is. Founded and led by multi-billionaire businessman Robert Smith, plans to acquire a majority stake in an ad tech company. Smith is the wealthiest African American according to Forbes. His net worth is 4.4 billion. So we were talking yesterday or the other day, and that's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't remember the numbers, but we were talking about the zero, the origination of all things snakerly and lizardly. I thought we were talking about like remember the business person who said that they helped the wrestler out because he needed legal help, because he's just a millionaire, and if you ain't a billionaire, you don't even have a chance at the legal system helping you. Y'all told me who the names were and I don't remember. Oh, Hulk Hogan. Some millionaire or some billionaire helped Hulk Hogan out because he felt bad for him because he was so poor. Hulk Hogan is the wrestler. He felt bad for him because he was so poor. So this person who is he, Sonia? This person they say is the wealthiest African American has 4.4 billion. So it just kind of made me curious to put it in the context of other people's known wealth. That's according to Forbes, but I don't really know. I don't follow or pay attention to that. I know that some of these black rappers were close to having $1 billion, right? One of them, Diddy, or Beyonce's husband or something. I don't know. DHS Zero was first. God created rocks, then he climbed out from under one of them. Phil. Yeah, what company does Phil run? I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever used it. It don't really matter because I'm probably not going to remember it because I didn't. You can have Kanye. DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, I guess, will use facial recognition to scan travelers at the border. So again, I'm rich. Yeah, we are rich. We're abundantly blessed and rich. So this facial recognition stuff continues to expand, continues to be, just kind of more and more mainstream use in more and more contexts. You can have Sterling A. Brown. Who is Sterling A. Brown? Is that the actor from the TV show I like? We getting rid of Sterling? We don't like This Is Us? Oh my God, my heart can't take it. Who is Sterling K. Brown? Oh no, I don't know who Sterling K. Brown is. Let me not even fake it. China's solar energy explosion reveals a dim future for fossil fuels. Here's what it looks like. No, not Sterling. The tallest man to ever live was almost 9 feet tall, and the photos of him are unreal. Actor, he cries a lot. Is he the dark-skinned actor? Was he in This Is Us? He's the guy from This Is Us, isn't he? I didn't know he cried a lot either. He probably just so happy to have a daggone job. You know, it's hard to get a job as an actor and to be paid and to be on a show that's doing well. Probably crying for joy. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, mistaken as white growing up, admits that she wishes that she were darker. So she said it gave her a complex about her identity because I guess people couldn't look at her because she was white. She's white passing. People couldn't look at her and identify that she had the one with the handsome face. We keep him. No Kanye. So, I guess that's sort of like some of the challenges that people, like I know one thing that I know is that Rowdy Chica, you can have baby face. I know one of the things I know is at one point I realized I'm really glad that, my mother is black, my father is black, I identify as black. It ain't really I look black. When you see me, you think I'm black. It ain't really no question. So like some of the things that I know other people that I know deal with, I don't really deal with. Like, I'm also glad that I feel like I was born a woman when I was born, they said it's a girl. I feel like I'm a girl on the inside. I feel like a woman, like I don't have no confusion. Like sometimes I look at people and it seems like they're like in a lot of distress in terms of like who they are and where they fit in the world and how to identify themselves. And it seems sad to me. PayPal, duh. That's why I don't remember, because I don't F with no PayPal. So, Mariah Carey, has, that challenge. And I guess other people have challenges with their identity too. Kate Spade, fashion designer, found dead at 55. I think they said she killed herself. So I guess, prayers out. Babyface. Hell yeah, Miss Sonia. New video of NBA Sterling Brown arrest. We're not talking about this Sterling Brown. Shows cop standing on his ankle and singing. Bella, you getting on my nerves now. Was she in debt, I wonder? Yeah, I don't know what the situation was. I think, well, I don't know. I think sometimes when people commit, I think a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people, but I think that there are people who are depressed and, alienated and, even though from the out, there's two Sterlings. Yeah, Sterling Brown is an NBA player. And then I think Sterling Brown is an actor. So the K is probably the differentiating thing. So yeah, I don't know, what the deal is with Kate Spade or what the deal was with Kate Spade. I like Mike Tyson. You like Mike Tyson? I saw Miss movie. Bella's still on Coon Watch. That's sad. It is sad. And I didn't read the article, so I don't know what the story was, but it was all over. The headline came up again and again and again. So I'm sure I'll hear some story about it. That movie was called, it was something about like they went to Las Vegas for like like the man was about to get married and they were having his bachelor party, and it was really a funny movie to me when I saw it years ago, and I didn't think it was going to be funny, but it was good. I'd recommend it if I knew the name. So they standing on the man's here, Coon, though. Mike Tyson. And I always felt sad for Mike Tyson. Like, it seemed like he like was separated. Don't tell Mr. Santana. It seemed like like he didn't have like a strong family connection. And then it seemed like whoever was managing him or, training him or whatever, like it seemed like he was just like a body or a fighter. It didn't seem like there was like some support or support for him as a person and helping him to grow and develop. Like it always kind of felt like he was just like out there and like being used as a boxer, but not really getting support or, I don't know. I never knew much about him. And then when he was married to that actress or dealing with that actress, that whole thing was kind of sad. Hangover. Was that the name of the movie? That movie was funny to me. That's a good example of manipulation. Yeah, his father is still alive, Robin Givens. So Mike Tyson's father is still alive. Was his father involved with him? Because I just always had this feeling of him just being out there, like just vulnerable. And it was just, I felt sad for him. And then I never understood the tone of his voice. I mean, I know people's voice tone varies, but it just, I feel like I have seen men or been around Black men who certain types of corporate environments use it's like they take the bass out of their voice and use a certain octave to be less threatening. He didn't need to do remakes and so it's kind of like Mike Tyson's voice. I never really knew what to make of it. He came out and said that he was molested as a kid. Yeah, I believe that. I believe he was kind of abused and I don't know. I just had a feeling about him and it wasn't good. I felt sad for him. I felt bad, poor guy. Yeah. He has brothers and sisters around. We're not going to fall for any banana in the tailpipe. What is that? So many guys turn to gayness after molestation. I think it can really cause you to question your identity, like I think even for like women, like if you're molested and you get excited, then you think, oh, there's something wrong with me. I got excited. And so let me just go out here and be promiscuous because I guess I'm a hoe, like that's like obviously a elementary version of the story. But I think, because your body can be separate from other things, your body can be responsive even when shit is fucked up. I think it can just throw people off and cause them to just really kind of lose track of who they are. And then just like the nature of that abuse really has an impact on, like you just process stuff different. Say it with some bass in your voice. The car shuts down, sis. This is how they get affection and attention. Yeah. And also, I think I think it's also like a process of trying to figure out what happened and why was I excited? You know what I mean? What happened? Why did this happen to me? But I don't know. I'm not I'm not a therapist. It just seems like You know, it just seemed like we have to go through so many different layers of stuff, you know. And some of us just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and it's just really hard to tease things out and figure things out and be whole and happy. And you know, you like Bella. You know, Bella has been running the streets for the last 2 days 3 days when I did notes on the news feed. So you see how restless she is, and she won't just sit down. She before she used to just sit down, and now she fussing because she wanna go out and run the streets. I think that's why she's fussing. Jackson Rooming House. The greatness. So they had a rooming house, but I guess you had to be of a certain stature in order to stay there. I guess I couldn't just stay there. I don't really know how it works. Um, she want ice cream. She don't want no ice. She like ice cream. She don't want no ice cream. She want to run the streets. And then her good friend Ross Bay has a dog and brought the dog over. That was a racist song we were hearing. I know that song. The effects of unprotected, unprovided for women on a community is deeply destructive. Yeah. Not just women, but children, you know. But I remember what the song is. It's like when the most vulnerable among you is exposed to any and everything. People eat ice cream in 2018. When the most vulnerable is exposed to everything, it's like it's not a good thing. Like when we can't protect the most vulnerable, it's it's messed up. Oh, that's what I was looking up. Jackson Rooming House. African American celebrities. Noted for being the boarding house of celebrities, housed only well-known Black entertainers and civil rights leaders such as Ray Charles, Ella Fitzgerald, and Cab Calloway. I heard of all of them. The residence, located at 851 Zack Street in Tampa, Florida, was designed and built by Sarah and Moses Jackson and passed down from generation to generation. See, that's a family business that was passed down from generation to generation. People left their children legacies. People continue to leave their children legacies. The home was added to the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. The house was originally structured with 6 bedrooms when it was built in 1901 as the establishment. How they protect their most vulnerable among them is the standard that shows what we're truly about. Green Book rooming. It closed its doors in 1989. Oh, it's kind of long ago, but not that long ago. The estimated cost to restore the house was over $900,000, so the building has yet to be refurbished. A debate continues between local Black community and city officials about the boarding house. The mayor wants the barely standing home to be torn down. However, he is willing to work with those who are trying to restore the residence. As long as they're making progress, we'll continue to work with them. Nevertheless, the fate of the boarding house is still to be determined. So I guess if you're regional or if you're to that area or close to that area, if you want a project to, a fundraising project or some work to do, if you want to, restore that house and make, you could do that. It's coming back around the corner. Is that the same one or is that a different one? That's a different one. Jackson, oh no. Saudi Arabia issues first driving license to women. Dutch PM Mark Rutte cleans up Parliament coffee spill. I don't know why that's in there. India policewoman prays for breastfeeding abandoned baby. Maybe it's chasing the other one. This is my area. Hello. Dun-dun. Hello. Yeah, doesn't it say that? Yeah, I don't know. So breastfeeding is kind of intimate. So they found a baby and she breastfeed. Who's chasing that ice cream truck? Nobody. So she's getting praise for feeding the baby, and I guess that's the right thing to do. I guess she's a mommy and she had breast milk and she was just at work being a cop, and then she's gonna go. I don't, yeah, but anyway, that's what happened in India the other day. Qatar boss or Qatar boss, only men can run airlines. We were talking about that airline yesterday because they have some deal going with Italy. He said, running an airline is really complicated, and so only men can do that. University to honor NASA mathematician Katherine Johnson with salute or with statue before her 100th birthday. I think this year before her 100th birthday. So that's good to be honored when you're alive. Who can you honor who's still alive? Show them you respect and appreciate them. Police officer pulls king cobra from minivan in China. King cobra as in a snake. Reporter shows amazing restraint as political candidate argues her intelligence must come from her white side. So I guess she biracial. And he like, you really smart, but it must come from the white side of your family. I guess she showed restraint because she wanted to beat him down, because I don't know why. He's just dumb and ignorant. Sometimes it's kind of like you can't let some stuff get you worked up because it's not even it ain't even about skit. It ain't even about nothing. It ain't even worth your energy. It's just dumb. United Nations expert says extreme inequality in US is a political choice made by those in power. So basically, they don't care about poor people. As a baby, I was breastfed and then I turned 13. Prototype electric plane crash kills 2 pilots. So I guess they had an electric plane and 2 people died flying it. So rest in peace to them. Crocodile kills Ethiopian pastor during lake baptism. So rest in peace to him. June 5th, 1920, the United States Women's Bureau is founded. So I guess that's around the time that white women were trying to get the vote. I guess as a black woman, it's sort of like when white women got the vote, that didn't have any impact on me. Yeah. That book, When and Where I Enter by Paula Giddings, I think it is. She talks about I think it was in that book, but that book is about like sororities, like maybe Delta Sigma Theta or whatever. But I think in that book, she's like, all women are white and all men are black. So when and where do I enter? I think that's in that book. And I was kind of like, dang, that's true. You can't be wading in the water with the crocodiles. None of these laws were put in place for black people, men or women. But if black men had gotten the vote and women didn't have the vote, I still wouldn't be able to vote. Not that I really want to vote. It's just like this idea of, it's just like this concept. After police beat him in front of his 3-year-old son, man receives Paula Giddings. Oh, who did I say? I didn't say Paula Giddings. I thought I knew. I was surprised that I remembered who wrote it. Paula Giddings, When and Where I Enter. That was the book that made me reconsider. I come from a long line of sorority women. My mama is in a sorority. My grandmama is in a sorority. Why am I not in a sorority? And I could choose either one. After reading that book, I was like, oh, it's not really what I thought it was, or at least from the book. After police beat him in front of his 3-year-old son, man receives $3 million settlement. I wonder what impact that had on his son seeing his father beat. Like what long-term impact that has on him, if it's still impacting him, how it shaped his view of the world. When you think your parents can forget you and risk getting hazed. I'm too old to be hazed. I don't know if they do that like with graduate chapters and stuff. And I do, I feel like I've been to a woman's college. I've been like, I'm part of a goddesshood. Like I like, I feel like I tend to be in groups of women, Oh, is this what the problem is? My water bottle is your way. Okay, have a seat, girl. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe $3 million is cool because you can get some good therapy and resolve it, and life goes on. I guess I don't know what kind of beating he got. If any of his, I don't know. I don't know. So are we happy about the $3 million settlement? He'll probably think F the police. That's almost always how the dislike starts. Yeah. Parents outraged after school bus driver hurls, yes, we're happy, so we should give some hand claps. Parents outraged after school bus driver hurls racial slur at 9-year-old son. That hurt me to my heart. That's what the parents said. Yeah. I think it can be kind of sad. I guess on one hand, I kind of feel like um y'all should know how this country is. Don't be hurt to your heart. These people are like that. But then on another hand, I feel like it would be sad for your child to be exposed to, like, like to see your child being like to see like their innocence and like their view of the world, and like how much information do you give them, like, don't, like how do you give them information in such a way that they can feel empowered and be safe and be happy and comfortable? Like, but it's a lot to balance. So I can see how that would hurt you to your heart. We leave our children in the hands of demons. Yeah. Did y'all see that? That was really spooky. I said demons, and Bella looked right in the screen like she was a demon. I'm so tired of being around these people. I want to separate from them. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the whole separation thing. What was the word? Demons. I think the demon is smart and figured out that we were on to her. She was exposed for a moment. Now she's trying to be subtle about it. I'm already separated in my head. Yeah. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to make my mind stronger, and yeah, all of that. Oh, she's getting on my nerves. When talking about money is taboo, domestic abuse thrives. So it was talking about the fact that a lot of women in particular, who are in situations of being physically abused, are also in situations of being financially abused. In story after story after story, women are like, I know your eyes are separated. Women are like, I would have left, but it's hard when you're forced to see him every day. Yeah. I would have left, but I didn't know how I was going to feed myself. I didn't know how I was going to feed the children. I didn't know how, like this whole thing of like financial dependency is a real issue, in terms of people feeling like they have choices. I'm sure some of y'all mamas, the women, your mamas told you always keep some money off to yourself, always have some money on the side, always have that kind of plan. If your mama didn't tell you, you heard it someplace, and I don't know if that's how you operate. I know back in the day. Now this is showing my age, because they don't even have phones anymore. But I used to always have to have a quarter and $20 on me when I went out, because you just never know what's going to happen and what you're going to need to do. And I remember, keep $20 pinned to your bra. I didn't have it, but I had it. And one of my girlfriends, she's like, the first time she had sex, she was out with a guy she was dating. He took her out someplace, and he was in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, let's have sex. And she's like, no, I don't want to. You never heard of that? And then he's like, well, you can get out and walk. And it was in the middle of nowhere. And she just went ahead and had sex with him. She said, like, it was kind of like she didn't necessarily want, she was coerced. I don't know if she considers it rape. I don't really know how I consider it, but it seemed like a jacked up situation. And also the fact that she was in the middle of nowhere, it was like she couldn't have used a quarter to make a phone call. She couldn't have used a bill to get a ride. All girls used to have cute little handkerchiefs. Yeah, that was rotten. And that was a sad, I didn't, we were adults before I ever knew that. And we've known each other since we were children. Yeah, that was sad. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah, I love saving money. I love saving money too. And you know what my grandmother did, which is, and I think I have this habit, but in a different way. My grandmother forever had me, that was a scumbag move. She forever like had me signing things. She had a billion, it seemed like she had a gazillion bank accounts, and she would have like some bank accounts would have like me and my mother and her on it. Some bank accounts would be me and my three cousins, my first cousins, my two first cousins, my, you know, the three of us. There were like all these different banks. So she had money in a whole bunch of different places. As a matter of fact, about 15 or 20 years ago, somebody found my name on a list of unclaimed money. There were two accounts that my grandmother had that had my name on them that, you know, had never been claimed. I never claimed that money either, because it was like when I started trying to go through the process, I ended up I got married and moved and got distracted. But she like, and I think that I do that. Like I have like in my head, like if I gotta grab and go, I got some money here. If I'm here, I got some money here. Like I don't know, you know, I don't know if I get that from my grandmother, but it's like I feel like I'm forever like concerned. So, but anyway, this article got me thinking about the fact that money, they that the main marriage breakup are based on money and sex. You know, issues around money and issues around sex. And both of those subjects are subjects that are very please, baby, please, baby, 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 please, baby. Both of those subjects are subjects that we're like taught not to talk about. Like you don't talk about money, you don't talk about salary, you don't talk about income, you don't talk about, you know, you don't talk about those things, not in polite conversation. You sure don't talk about sex in polite conversation. Like what kind of girl are you? What kind of woman are you to be talking about sex? You know, and I remember one of the first women I encountered who talked about sex among us young women a lot. I was like, what's wrong with her at first, you know? But I feel like these things that we don't talk about are important, you know, particularly when we're thinking about not a woman to woman. I just read what I typed. Oh, I didn't read it. Particularly when we're talking about the importance of Black love and the importance of Black relationships and, you know, sort of maintaining relationships. My dear grandfather was a millionaire. Wow. The importance of maintaining relationships and being able to build strong relationships, like these like little taboo secret things that we don't talk about. I feel like we need to be talking about them more. We need to shore ourselves up so that we can build better and stronger relationships with each other, so that we can teach our children better, so that we can, you know, support our brothers and sisters better, you know, so that we can help our parents, you know, like I just feel like, so anyway, that's kind of why that article caught my attention, you know, I guess all them big breastises. So, you know, just, you know, getting educated about those types of things and, you know, kind of breaking some of the tattoos. And even though it's uncomfortable and awkward, that's why I don't talk in depth about it, but I just feel like we need to normalize some things because it's critical to our success. It's critical to us thriving, you know, as individuals, as families, as communities. Like, you know, we got to get a handle on these things and we got to deal with them. Oh, speaking about sex, the truth about sex robots, panic, pleasure, and candlelight dinner. So one thing that the article was saying is that really these sex robots are not really a real thing. And, you know, so like this whole like, oh, we hate sex robots is like a non-conversation because they're not really a real thing. But I think it indicates a direction that we're going in. And we've kind of been talking about it. I guess before we talk about that, there are systems for having relationships, sexual relationships with non-humans. Like there's like a whole sex toy industry. Our bodies are royal. So that's like, so I don't know if that like is part of the sex robot continuum, you know, but you know, it's just kind of like, and then it's also like that. I heard Nigerian men are getting into it. And then it's also sort of like, like we've been talking about, how can we have relationships if we're not having person to person, human to human, skin to skin relationships? Like, how can we, like the whole idea of like these sex robots, and the person was talking about how, you know, when you first see them, well, she was talking about one in particular, that is so nasty, how it looks uncannily like a human being. Now, when it starts talking, it can only talk for a couple hours and the thing glitches. And, you know, and you can program, like you can select all of the physical characteristics. Like it's this whole thing of customizing it. And they talk about in the article, they talk about how the idea of customizing a sex partner that's not real is like a total devaluation of like real women and girls, and leads to, you know, the devaluation, or contributes more to the devaluation of women and girls. So I don't, you know, I didn't see what you said, Yapo, but I'm not really there having sex with robots. Yeah, I believe it. Um, You know, so we've been talking about, like, I think probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I saw an article about like a brothel with just robots in it. And, you know, yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of disturbing. Like, I think that the importance of real relationships, a safe word for robots, I think the importance of real relationships with real people is something that we're going to have to like continue to fight for, continue to focus on, continue to work on, because I think that it's like a seduct, like it's just, it's things are shifting. Don't maintain their dials. Like, things are shifting, and we're interacting more and more with non-human beings and less with human beings. And I think we kind of have to fight. Um, right. They probably don't draw much of a distinction. And I thought that that was an interesting thing too. I need to cuddle, and can't no bot do that. Right. And she was saying how it looked a certain way, but then the skin was cool. And but I think also, like, when you're altering yourself to create, to like, to become something that you're not, and putting fake stuff in you, or chemicals or plastic or silicone or whatever it is sort of like, it is part of robotizing yourself, you know. um Ava DuVernay developing comedy series based on Colin Kaepernick's life as a teen. Reset, not rest. Hit the reset button. Right. We all need to cuddle. We need human connection. We need human contact. Solar to the people. This Detroiter is making solar technology accessible to all. I don't know what that's about. I do know that they have these solar lights, and one of my sis got a shoe had one put in front of Avalon Village. I know that's right. Tasmania Anglican Church sales to help make amends for abuse. So I guess this has to do with like the Catholic Church, and being that making love is actually a spiritual act. No robot could ever replace the human touch. Um, yeah, yeah. It's kind of disturbing, and it's sort of, I mean, yeah. I mean, because if you watch science fiction movies and stuff, you know, you see, um, a vision for a world that's very different, and different in different ways. So I guess that they're making amends for the ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like. I wonder why they want to park in the driveway instead of on the street. It'd only be like 8 cars parked on the street. They could be closer to their house. But anyway, she's so cute with her little afro. My down the street neighbor, I facialed her a couple years ago. So they're selling the church to try to, I guess, pay off people who they sexually abused, or who the church sexually abused. No, you ain't getting no tickets on this street. They do street cleaning twice a year now. There was a show about the future. It used to come on Fox. The sex robots were called Bang Bots. You see her shaking? Another one bites the dust. South Florida sheriff deputy's racist social media post gets him fired. I still think they got a whole like, it's sort of like, that's probably like how they get jumped into their gang. Like, you want to be part of the white supremacists or the Aryan Brotherhood, then you make a racist comment and get fired from your job. Then we know you real. I truly thank you for covering the news. Oh, thank you for being here. Then we know you real. And so then once you do that, right, on code, I see y'all using that expression. I'm still not really clear. But then once you do that, you get fired from your job. And then, you get rehired into the network, the white supremacist, the racist network. You know what I mean? And now we know you down with the cause. That's what I think they're doing. Because they just keep coming and coming. Look, she about to jump up the window. Bella, go away from me. I'm tired of you now. Thank you. Video game will soon be an official high school sport. Delane Parnell's Play VS has first mover advantage, completes $15 million funding round. What if the bot cheat? You get hired at a Fox affiliate. So listen to this. We were talking about these video games as sports, and I was trying to figure out, when you play the video games, you'd have to do this. If you're playing tennis, you have to at least move your arms, or do you just do this? You know, I don't know. But anyway, here it is coming off of Moguldom. And look at this child who has the first, well, you can't really see him here. On my other thing, they had a big old picture of him. Little brown guy, Delane Parnell. You can kind of, his Twitter feed is up. But you see that little brown face there? That's a little brown guy. That's, I mean, not a little brown guy. He's probably he's a grown man. $15 million raise, whatever. So, it's some black person, some black man who's in the forefront of these computer. Oh, wait, is this his picture? As a teen in Detroit, he was trying. Look, this is the guy. Detroit, West Side. I don't know where he's from. HP. Yeah. So anyway, yay. What we say his name was? Darnell. Delane Parnell. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 25 claps to him. Now, the only thing is I think the people, what did he do again? I was kind of unclear. Remember when we were talking the other day about how these high schools are going to have video, like for athletics, they're going to have video games? You remember that? So this young man is at the forefront of that movement. Video games will soon be an official high school sport. Delane Parnell's Play VS, that's the name of his business, has first mover advantage. So he's like in a position where he's like in a position to make a deal before anybody else can make the deal. And he completes $15 million funding round. He's a baby, he's 25 years old. 25-year-old Detroit native announced today the closing of a historic $15 million Series A funding round for his startup Play VS, which is bringing esports infrastructure to high schools. The financing was led by New Enterprise Associates, a venture capital firm investing in technology and healthcare. I wonder if it's a white or black venture capital company, with participation from existing investor Science, as well as Crosscut Ventures, Coateur Management, Cross Culture Ventures, the San Francisco 49ers. I heard of them. Nas, that's the rapper, right? I heard of him. Dollar Shave Club founder Michael Dubin, Twitch founder Kevin Lynn, and others. It is the largest Series A ever by a black founder in consumer internet history and top 5 across all industries. So he's out here, doing it in the business world and in the technology world. He's doing it big. By 100, I have always thought that online schools should have online sports teams with coaches and the whole nine. I don't understand these online sports teams. I think people need to be physically active. How are you playing sports like this? You see how depressed it made Bella? Yeah. Gmail's major redesign will be available to all in July. I didn't know that Gmail was going through a major design. I use Gmail redesign. So everything is going to be changing over. Has anybody tried the new Gmail? Are we stressed? Are we upset? What's the new Gmail? Remember when Hotmail was everything and everybody had Hotmail and then Gmail came out? Remember when AOL? I don't like Gmail. The new Gmail or the old Gmail? Remember when AOL was like all the thing and they used to send you those disc things, diskettes? Were they floppy disk? It might have been floppy disk. They were sending it in the mail to get you on the internet. And it used to dial up. Remember that weird noise? I remember. I still use AOL mail. I've seen probably in the last 10 years about 3 or 5 people who use it, and I think it's like kind of amazing. But what's the new thing? If we don't like Gmail, what we migrating to? Fans can't get enough of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Cynthia Bailey's new job. Y'all, she out here modeling again. She done signed with somebody. Hotmail stands for HTML. HOTMAIL. Really? I didn't know that. Town of 5 Points, Harlem of the West. Oh my God, I've been on here for so long. I don't know. Cell phone text messages. Right. Who uses email anymore? I do. Messenger on Facebook. Yeah, there probably isn't any new email. Ticketfly hacker stole more than 26 million email and home addresses. Ticketfly? What's Ticketfly? 26 million email and home addresses stolen. I wonder why she keep looking in the camera. In the screen. Does she see herself? Attorney Benjamin Crump talks about his new crime show, Evidence of Innocence, exploring the nightmare of being incarcerated when you're truly innocent. That's like so old fashioned. Who uses Hotmail? I know people who use Hotmail. Do bouncers at clubs enforce dress codes equally across the race? And still uses it. He has a reality show now. You're talking about dang. Attorney Benjamin Crump. Is it a reality show? Evidence of Innocence. That's what we were talking about earlier with the guy who has, I guess, the Oprah's Book of the Month Club or whatever. The guy who was 30 years. Was he 30 years in jail? We were how many centuries enslaved for no crime? I didn't do anything. My only crime is having black skin. Is that a crime? That's not even a crime. I didn't do anything. Oh, that pissed me off. I have 2,000 unread email I have yet to check. Peace, Rottweiler. Right. On my phone, I probably have a gazillion. That's just, almost all my emails come to my phone. Do bouncers at clubs enforce dress codes equally across races? This is a headline coming off of Moguldom. No. Despite video, the interview wasn't about peace gods and goddesses. Yep. Despite video surveillance, pizza manager denies striking Bronx man with giant wooden spatula. So anybody who live in New York, they talking about, you know how when they go to get a pie out the oven, that thing that they use that holds a whole pie that could be meat and all like a heavy. It's not a spatula like a little bitty something. It's like, it's huge. And this man it's video surveillance showing him beating this man. This young man, he looked up, he was the only black person in the place. They were telling him to leave. His friends were still there. I guess he had white friends, so I guess they're the ones that taped what was going on. I feel nothing. Clean out your email, Waffle. A Bronx legal assistant is seeking damages after he claims a pizzeria owner beat him unconscious with a giant pizza spatula. So when you think of spatula, think of something bigger than a paddle. It's big. In a new lawsuit, Bronx resident Kavanaugh Kayvon, his name is Kayvon Caruth, accuses Ali Essa, the former manager at Manhattan Slice Shop, of assaulting him with a wooden pill used to place pizzas in the oven. Caruth said the brutal attack left him with a busted lip, a gash under his eye, and a hate for all things pizza. My life has totally changed. She used to love pizza, but now he can't think about it. March 17th, what was supposed to be a fun night out with friends. He works at the Bronx DA's office. The young man said he and 2 friends stopped by the pizza parlor for a bite to eat after leaving a Midtown Manhattan bar, just normal thing you do. Soon after ordering his slice, somebody on staff approached him and asked him to leave the restaurant. He's like, he'd barely taken a bite from his pizza. So he's like, the worker claimed that the restaurant was closing soon, but he was the only one being asked to leave. He said he looked around and he saw he was the only black person in the store. Like, you know, everybody else eating, his friends are eating. They like, you got to leave, black person. We're about to close. But nobody else is being asked to leave. He insisted on staying until his friends received their food, but the group was ultimately ushered outside, where he claims an employee called him a stupid N-word. Moments later, he exited the store with the pizza peel in tow before hitting Caruth with it. They are violent and brutal. We need to separate for our own safety. He fell in and out of consciousness as his friends called an ambulance and waited for them to arrive. The attack was captured on surveillance video, but the white guy denies hitting the child with the you know, with that big. And if you think of a raw pizza too, like the dough is still soft. I used to love pizza too until I saw straight black hair on it twice. Yuck. I always get from Trader Joe's, and then the other time I got it from another place. I always get whole wheat pizza dough, and I make my own pizza. Because you can't hardly get, you know, it's hard to, you know, you don't know what you're getting when you're out here. I mean, I don't, and it apparently it's not difficult to make your own pizza dough. I've just never really gotten into the bread making thing, but apparently pizza dough and pasta and mozzarella cheese and pasta were on my list to learn how to make. I really want to learn how to make mozzarella cheese, but I've never done it. So anyway, just prayers out to him. Yeah, just prayers out to him. You know, I'm still processing like how to feel about stuff, because on one hand, no foreign hair in what I eat. I make my own all the time. As a matter of fact, I only make my own. Where do you go to get whole wheat pizza dough at? Trader Joe's sells it for like $1. You can get like, you know, a handful of dough. I mean, you know, it's in a bag, but it's made by local bakeries, you know. They have like white wheat and like herb or something like that. But I use it for making pizza. I'll make flatbread out of it. I like use the heck out of that. I get it, I throw it in the freezer, I unthaw it when I'm ready to use it. It's like kind of fresh bread. So I like that, you know, I guess because of the idea of it being fresh. And I like, you know, put it on my cast iron and cook it up. Aldi, but Aldi is Trader Joe's. There's been an E. coli outbreak. Yeah, Aldi and Trader Joe's were brother. They were connected probably about 50 or 100 years ago, but they're not exactly connected anymore, although sometimes there does seem to be an overlap in some of the types of products that they have. But if you read up on them, they're not technically connected anymore. Like I think one brother wanted to sell cigarettes and the other brother didn't, or one brother wanted to sell alcohol and the other brother didn't. So they had Aldi Nord and Aldi Sud. I don't know what language is that. Where are they from? They're European. Omari Hardwick explains why playing Ghost on Power. So is Power back? Did I see a bunch of reviews for Power? Am I missing Power too? I'm missing all the shows. I went to Aldi's once. I don't know what was going on. Yeah, every time somebody says it, I research it and I'm like, no, I think I've understood correctly, but I don't know. You send me your research via your Hotmail account. Omar, so Power is back on. Made it challenging to tackle his role in the new movie A Boy, a Girl, and a Dream. Now, our film festival, we have a yearly film festival here. Usually, for the last couple of years, I volunteered at it. So last year, I didn't really get to see the films that I wanted to see because my volunteering didn't really allow me to, and my schedule didn't allow me to. But this year, I am planning to go see A Boy, a Girl, a Dream. So, and it's not one of the ones I'm working. Power is back on. They must have paid the electric bill. Hey, everyone. Ooh, we back in the, look at this. One of my day ones. That's what I'm talking about. One of my day ones. Or you wasn't day one, but day 220. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see. I'm excited about day 2. I'm excited about the whole movie festival, and I'm only working at the Charles Wright Museum, so almost all of the movies are going to be, all of the Black movies are going to be at the Wright Museum, and I'm hoping that I'm going to see them. So, except for this, I definitely know I'm going to go see this because it's not at the right museum and I'm not working. And they gave me a pass. Like this year, usually what they do is you volunteer a shift and then they give you a little thing to go see a movie. You volunteer a shift and they give you a thing. But this year, I don't know why or how, but I got a whole movie pass. So theoretically, I should have started going and watching movies last week. Just watching, I just don't have time to even appreciate, But anyway, so he feels that, like, I guess because his role on Power is hard and what he's doing in A Boy, a Girl, a Dream is like a little softer, it was hard for him to make the transition as an actor. But is anybody planning to go see A Boy, a Girl, a Dream other than me? Has anybody heard about it? I think I'm going to do a recap because I'm going to get to see it from the beginning to the end, or like a review, not a recap. Hey, Poetry. On your review, you said people are all hot and bothered. People get all hot and bothered when reviewers have a different opinion of them or a different opinion from them. And so that's what I'm laughing at. Like, I'm here at your review and I'm all hot and bothered because you have a different opinion than me. That's all. I never even heard of it. I never heard of it. Yeah, I just saw it in the Cinetopia schedule and I saw that it was, that somebody Black was in it. So I'm like, okay, I'll go see it. I haven't even had a chance to look and see what I really want to see because I haven't really had time. New York middle school student asked to create New York middle school students asked to create runaway slave ad as part of extra credit assignment. Parents outraged. Oh yeah, they be really mad. Right, you talking about people mad because y'all disagree. But are they really mad or are they just Avengers 3 was pretty good? Are they really mad? I don't know. I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know. Most of the stuff y'all say I don't necessarily agree with, but I enjoy it. It's giving me something to think of. I would have been outraged too. But it's like it seems like it's just this grooming process that's going on. What a surprise. It's this ongoing grooming process that's going on to keep this consciousness going, to keep this in the air, keep this vibration going, keep this, I don't know if I'm assuming there were Black students in the class because it's coming off of Atlanta. You get cussed out? Oh, girl. I don't have nobody that serious that watches my reviews, but I only get 2 viewers. But this and for the Black students that's in the classroom, when they be like, oh, let's create runaway slave ads, then that person feels diminished, they feel less than, they feel embarrassed, like it's mind games. It's designed to, like, keep you in a certain consciousness and keep you feeling embarrassed like a lot of times we have big issues with everybody has the right to be wrong if they disagree with me. A lot of times we have like big issues with how we process the enslavement of African folks. And a lot of times we feel like it's our fault and it's something for us to be embarrassed about. Especially we were talking about sex and money. We don't talk about that. I think sometimes, like, we need to process some other stuff too. So that it's like, no, like if you got molested, you need to understand, no, that's not your fault. No, if your body did whatever, it's some stuff, and you need to understand enslavement in order to understand, no, it's nothing for you to be embarrassed about. It's nothing for you to feel guilty about. That's some of they bullshit, but we don't, the robots taking on your housework. I don't really know what that's about. Why do we love to dance with each other? I love to dance. I don't know if this is one of those stories where, you can't dance with sex bots, can you? Can you have any kind of real relationship? Or do you want a real relationship? Okay, I'll come back to it. Could a text message save thousands of fishermen's lives? So there's some system they have. I love to dance. I'm not embarrassed. No others could survive like we did. Yeah, like I feel like as I've gotten more educated, as I've studied more, as I've come to understand it more, I feel like way more empowered. I feel inspired to fight more. Like as I understand, for example, how much we resist, like it's just I process things differently now. The more information that I've had, the more correct information that I've gotten. It has a positive impact. But I feel like if we're not talking about it, let's see a clip. As well as being fun, dancing might have helped us to survive as a species. Evolutionary anthropologists explains that when we dance with others, we are rewarded with feeling good endorphins to change the way we feel about um, ourselves and those around us. Oh, that seems like a dumb article. Like, was there anything new in there? Something we didn't know? Okay. Um, I was going to ask him the same thing, Sonya sees. I know he be on here talking all this mess, and then you only put out one video a year. So the fishermen, a lot of times they're out moving around. Alexa doesn't count. Tell them, girl. A lot of times when the fishermen are out, it's between midnight and 5 a.m. And that's when storms come in, and they come in quickly. So they want to have a system where they alert fishermen quickly that storms are coming. Yeah, learning about Black history in school made me feel shame until I did independent reading and learned about what Black experience was. Right. And it's like it's designed to make us feel shame. It's designed to, like you feel like we ain't do nothing worthwhile. All we did was be slaves and say yes, sir. That's all we good for. It like you ain't getting correct information. Much love. Gotta go. Just got hacked. Have to go and track down the jerk who just hacked me. Sonya, I'll deal with you later. Are you serious? Is that a joke? Exactly. Yeah. I'm so confused. Qatar or Qatar cash and cows help buck Gulf boycott. Good luck, Yapo. Later, Yapo. Oh, I guess it's serious. How do you know when you just got hacked? Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So basically, this whole boycott of Qatar or Qatar has been going on for like a year now. And because Qatar had like cash reserves and other options, other relationships, they've been able to survive it. I know. I mean, I'm like, how do you know, like, when it just happened that it happened? So they've had, they've been boycotted by their neighbors and boycotted by the US, but they've been able to survive. When I first started hearing about it, it was like, well, they have cash reserves, so they're cool. And it made me feel like, as Black folks, I saw someone else get hacked and I was standing right beside them. It was nuts. Dang. Wow. When I first heard the story, or shortly after I first heard the story, it was like Qatar has enough cash that they ain't worried about y'all boycotting them. And it's sort of like, as a person, when you work a job and when you're out here, when you don't have, like somebody was saying, you need to have a FU fund so that you can, wherever you work, and you can be like, F you. You don't have to feel like a desperado, so that you can walk away and not feel like somebody has all that oil gives them power. Right. And not feel like somebody can just dog you out and treat you any old kind of way, or like you got to take whatever somebody is given because you're desperate for the money, because you don't know what you're going to do, so you got to build up, whatever, so that, you feel like you have the option and the freedom to be free and to exercise your freedom. So when I saw that thing about Qatar, I was clicking on links that had no business clicking on. Then they had it coming, if you ask me. Oh, you talking about the person who got hacked? I don't know what I would do if I got hacked. I don't even know how I would know I got hacked. And Facebook, a lot of times the older people, I would notice that, like, they'd be like, oh, be my friend. And you look in the account and it would be like my great auntie's picture. And like, that's it. Like and then a lot of people would start friending her because they didn't know, like, that's a hacked account. That's not her account. She ain't opened up no new account. Don't click strange links. So I was happy to hear that about Qatar. Pakistan's soaring rate of diabetic foot. So diabetic foot, I guess, is when you have diabetes and you have to get your foot amputated. I never heard that expression, diabetic foot. But I guess they have a lot of diabetes in Pakistan. I have a cousin who got his foot amputated last year-ish around Christmas. It certainly had a big impact on my mother. She talks about it all the time. And I think that was a big motivating factor for her for cutting way, way back on sugar. I don't even know if she eats sugar anymore. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I guess she eats a little sugar, but that like just had a really big impact on her. So I don't know what's going on in Pakistan. I know when I was in India, I see it's in the food they eat. I know when I was in India, I noticed that there was like a lot of sugar and a lot of dairy that people were eating. Like it seemed to be like a big part of the diet. A lot of sugar. Like in Jamaica, I noticed there was like a lot of sugar. So it is not I. A judge rules plainclothes officer's account in shooting death of stranded black motorists is unreliable. Must stand trial. It's the neuropathy associated with diabetes. What is neuropathy? Their desserts are way too sweet to stomach in India. I drink tea. I try to cut back, but it's hard. Yeah, that sugar is intense. You know, we talk about it. I'm so far, we so late we can't really talk about it, but we talk about, different strategies to work on breaking the sugar addiction and how important it is to break the sugar addiction and how it's not hardwired into us as humans. That addiction to sugar is something that that the sugar industry, neuropathy, nerve damage. Oh, nerve damage. Oh, okay. Um, So does the nerve damage come from having, because sometimes I get the impression that like if people have diabetes, sometimes you might not be able to feel your extremities or sense what's going on with them. Is that like because of nerve damage associated with diabetes? Um, yes, okay. Yes, okay. So yeah, we have to continue to read and study and work on it, and just it's not like, I don't think it's necessarily, especially if you're sweet tooth, like I don't want to say I'm a sweet tooth, but I do. It's sweets are, some people aren't really into sweets and some people are, and it seems like those of us who are into it, it's like hard. But it's a fight worth fighting, and keep getting information and keep getting support and keep working on it. I have to find a better sugar substitute and keep trying, start trying different things, read some things. Even if you can't try something, read some, just keep trying to keep it on your consciousness so that you can make the transition, because it's really, really important. Um, White House disinvites Philadelphia Eagles from visit after team indicates some players would skip the ceremony. Trump draw. Oh, I don't know. Basketball wife star Jackie Christie's daughters beefing on Instagram. We heard about that. Melania Trump snipes at rabid press corps as her public absence fueled rumors and conspiracy theories. Stevia. So I guess that she's been seen in public again. Henri van Breda, axe-murderer, transfixes South Africa. I wanted to talk about that, but I don't have time. Agave, I'm weak for fruit. I use dates a lot nowadays. $12 million fund launched for minority-owned businesses in Southeast. That's coming off of Moguldom, if anybody wants to follow up on that. Mayor Bill de Blasio pushes proposal to allow people who don't identify as either gender to choose X on New York City birth certificates. So I guess you're retroactively going back and putting X on your birth certificate, because I don't think they're going to ask the baby, how do you identify? The FBI arrested a former Defense Intelligence officer with top secret clearance on suspicion of spying for China. So there has been some focus on, this is Babylon, yes. There has been some focus on, the whole Russian thing and spies and all of that going on in this country. And, I guess the Chinese thing too. And it really isn't nothing new. In this country, spies on other countries too. So the FBI arrested a former Defense Intelligence officer. So I don't know. I did have some thought about it, but now I'm just kind of focused on like looking at the time. So obstacles are detours in the right direction. That's your word for the day as we go out. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. What are you looking forward to? The FBI just had a Russia hack a few days ago. Really? I didn't hear anything about that. What are you looking forward to? What's new and good? If you didn't already drop that in the comments. We about to do our countdown and out. I'm going, sing and dance us out. It's no accident that we were here today together. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. So as you go out into the world, remember what you got to do. You know what you got to do, right? Oh, wait. I thought I was already playing it. I'm sleepy. Where is Daddy to hold me? Thank you. That's right. Be fabulous, you. I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Peace. Bella bent down like she didn't want to be on camera. All right. Wonderful, wonderful, fabulous people. Go out, enjoy, 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 be a joy. Cool. Thanks, Angela. Yay. Be a joy, be enjoy, be blessed and be a blessing. And maybe I'll see you on these interwebs sometime soon. Tomorrow, notes on the news. And I think, I don't know when Queen Sugar comes on. I think it's Wednesday, but I'll be back for Queen Sugar when they come on. Good night, everyone. Peace, peace, peace.